Hi students, I am Dr. M. Ashraf Majroo, Professor of Community Medicine. I welcome you in the learning session of water purification on large scale and for domestic use. This is the second lecture of Water and Sanitation series. The water is a priority issue and kept as agenda of Sustainable Development Goal 6 for 2030. The goal states that to achieve universal and equitable access to safe and affordable drinking water for all. It further elaborates that to improve the water quality by reduction in pollution, elimination of dumping of water, minimizing the release of hazardous chemical materials, halving the proportion of untreated wastewater, substantially increase in recycling and safe reuse globally. So the highlights of these sessions are water sources, methods of water purifications, slow sand filtration, rapid sand filtration methods, domestic level filtration methods will be discussed in this session. First, we see the water cycle and the water sources. If we look at the water cycle, the water is evaporated from the seas and the surface water through transpiration, evaporation, and some of it is condensed back to the sea or oceans and rest of the vapors they will go high up and condensed in the form of the clouds. The water in the form of clouds again come back to the as a surface water through rain, snow, and hails. The surface water is in the form of lakes, streams, rivers, sea, and oceans. And some of the water is percolated, which is underground water, and rest of the water is surface water. So these are the sources, and it should be mentioned here that most of the sea water and the water available is saline, that is 97%, and the fresh water available only is 3%. So let us see the sources of water. As I have mentioned that the water through rains, snow and hails comes to the surface, and here on the surface it is divided into two type of sources. One which lies on the surface in the form of impounding reservoirs, rivers, streams, sea and oceans, and the other water percolated into the ground and it is then extracted through shallow wells, deep wells through hand pumps and motorized pumps. So these are the usual water sources which are used, but the water is from any source, they are first subjected to filtration on large scale. So what are the characteristics of groundwater and the surface water? The groundwater is percolated and naturally purified. On the other hand, the surface water is open to all environmental contaminations. And the groundwater may be contaminated through dumping of sewage and industrial waste deep through the boring into the ground. And similarly, the substances, minerals dissolved from the natural rocks, and the water may not be fit for the human consumption. The sources may be tested for physical and biological and chemical analysis before it is consumed. And the surface water is liable to be polluted with mixing of sewage and industrial waste, as sea water are saline, not fit for the human consumption, and water need purification on large and small scale. So let us discuss the methods of purification. First, it is important to mention what are the sources in the large cities of Pakistan. And the Islamabad, the capital of Pakistan, and the Rawalpindi, the main source of water is the surface water. And this surface water is a rainwater in the form of a lake, and the name of the lake is Rawal Lake, which is the major source of water in the Twin Cities, and the water is filtered through rapid sand filtration in for Rawalpindi and Islamabad. On the other hand, in Lahore, the groundwater is main source, which is being consumed by the population, and from various depths it is extracted. The tube well fitted with motorized and hand pumps is used for extraction of water. Then in Karachi, main source is the surface water, and also to some extent is the groundwater. Haleji and Kanhar lakes are important source of surface water, and similarly the Hab Dam is also surface water. On the other hand, groundwater is uh, uh, Dormilty feed well feeds is the groundwater, and it is a negligible source in Karachi. Mainly the sources are the groundwater, the surface water. In Faisalabad, surface water is used, and main source is the river and canals, and it is filtered through slow sand filtration. It is worth mentioning here to Karachi, all waters they are subjected to slow sand and rapid sand filtrations. Then, what are the objectives of purification? The objective of purification is to remove the suspended and dissolved chemical substances, to remove the microbiological agents, to oxidize the organic matter, to secure the contamination after purification. So these are the objectives which should be kept into mind during the process of purification. So the methods of purification of water are divided into two categories. One is on small scale or on in domestic use, which is the boiling, Berkfield filter, Catadine filters, and chemical disinfections. And on large scale, and the storage, filtration, disinfection through slow sand and rapid sand filtration. So these are the methods. We will first concentrate on the large scale purification of water. The slow sand filtration is the main method used in large scale purification of water. The components of slow sand filtrations are the raw water reservoir tanks and the graded sand filtration tanks, under drainage or collecting system, a system of filtration and control of valves. The slow sand filtration functions include the sedimentation. The sedimentation is done in large ponds or reservoirs. Then natural disinfection. Natural disinfection occurred in the during the storage in the large tanks through sunlight and ultraviolet rays. The oxidation of organic matter is also accomplished with the sunlight in the presence of oxygens. And the filtration under gravitational flow, there are multiple sand filters through which the water is filtered under the gravity. Then chlorination and disinfection is done. So these are the functions of slow sand filtration, and we will discuss one by one each component. The water flow schematic diagram consists of the rivers are a lake as a water source, and on first step the water raw water is stored as a reservoir in large tanks or ponds near the slow sand filtration plants. In second step, the water is allowed to flow in multiple sand filters or tanks purposely constructed for the filtration, and we will discuss the details of this filtration water filtration beds. Then on step 3, there is under drainage or collection system through which the water is collected and stored for the supply purpose. In step 4, the filtered water tanks and supply system is developed. This is the journey of water from the source to the domestic level to the house. Now, the main first step is the storage. Storage adds purification in physical, chemical, and biological characteristic of water. The optimum period of storage of river water is 10 to 14 days in large reservoir or ponds. Then it adds the physical property. About 90% of suspended impurities settled within 24 hours due to gravitational activity, gravitational force. And due to this sedimentation, the physical qualities of the water are improved. Then chemical, the microorganism present in the water oxidize the organic matter present in water with the help of dissolved oxygen. So the chemical properties are also improved as the organic matter is oxidized. This is one of the objective. The removal of oxidation of organic matter is one of the objective of water purification. Then biologically, the tremendous drop of bacterial count, pathogenic organism may die out to exposure and the natural light and radiations. So all these activities occur in the storage, during the storage at first step. So the storage is very essential step in slow sand filtration. Then water is allowed to flow into multiple filter beds, and the construction of each bed is similar in nature, and the number of filter beds depends upon the population served by the slow sand filtration plant. And the slow sand and the component of the filter bed include a layer of supernatant water, and then there is a layer of sand, and then there is a layer of gravels, and this is the typical filter bed of slow sand filtration. Sometimes the sand may be divided into two layers, the fine sand and coarse sand, and the gravels may be divided into fine gravels and coarse gravels. But these are three essential components which we have to discuss in detail the function of these filtration beds in more detail. So the supernatant raw water layer, it is above the sand bed. Depth varies from 1 to 1.5 meter as shown in the diagram. This is the layer, of supernatant water, and it is 1 to 1.5 meter. It provides the gravitational push against the resistance of the filter bed. It provides waiting time 3 to 12 hours for sedimentation and oxidation. The further oxidation and sedimentation occur in the filter bed and after the first step. The level of supernatant water is kept constant. So this is the supernatant layer. Then beneath the supernatant is the sand bed. The thickness of the sand bed is about 1.2 meters. The effective diameter between the particle varies from 0.15 to 0.35 mm. The sand bed is supported by a layer of graded gravels. Graded gravels mean the fine gravels and then coarse gravels. The sand bed presents vast surface area for water percolation. The sand bed provides mechanical stirring, sedimentation, oxidation, bacterial action process for purification of water. So this is very important to note that all processes, the mechanical stirring, sedimentation, oxidation, bacterial action, all occur in the filtration bed. And the supernatant, now the various thicknesses of the filter bed. Supernatant water 1 to 1.5 meter, the sand bed 1 to 1.2 meter, and the gravel sport 0.3 meters, and the filter bottom is 0.1 meter. Then vital layer or zugilial layer. The surface of the sand bed is covered with a slimy growth known as the zugilial layer or vital layer. The layer consists of algae, plankton, diatoms, and bacteria. It is the heart of the slow sand filter bed. It removes the organic matter and oxidizes the nitrogenous compound to nitrates. So this is the action, biological action of the slow sand filter. Then there is under drainage collecting system. Bottom of the filter bed consists of under drainage system. And this system is perforated pipes connected to each other. Water from the collection system flows through the chlorination chamber to distribution tank. Then advantage of the slow sand filtration are simple to construct and operate, feasible to serve large population, installation cost less than the rapid sand filtration, maintenance cost is low, it adds to physical, chemical and biological qualities, the total bacterial count reduces to 99.9%. It needs maintenance or scrubbing regularly. Then rapid sand filtration. The rapid sand filtration consists of the components of the rapid sand filtration are coagulation chamber, the rapid mixing chamber, the flocculation tank, the sedimentation tank, the filtration beds, the chlorination and disinfection. So these are the components, and it is worth mentioning here that the water flow is through the motorized pumping rather than the gravitational force in the rapid sand filtration. The flow diagram of rapid sand filtration plant is here is the river or lake water source, and here the first chamber is the addition of alum, and this is the alum mixing chamber, and then is the flocculation chamber, and then is the sedimentation tank, Then from the sedimentation tank, there are multiple filtration units. And they are similar to slow sand filtration, but they are constructed specifically for rapid sand filtration. They are more compact filters. Then the water from these filtration plants subjected to either UV plant or through chloronomes, and then the clean water is stored in the tank. So this is the journey of water from the raw water source to the storage tank, and then it is supplied to for the domestic purpose. This is the typical diagram of rapid sand filtration bed. This is a water trough, and the water flows from this water trough to the filtration media. It is made of sand and gravels. Similar to the slow sand filtration, and then there is a under drainage system, and this is the under drainage system. You can see, and there is a sport of gravel, and there is an under drainage system. This is the base of the filtration bed. Now, what are the functions of the rapid sand filtration and the steps? First is the coagulation. In coagulation, raw water is treated with chemical coagulants such as alum for removal of suspended solid particles. Then there is a rapid mixing, and there is it occurs in rapid mixing tank. The raw water is violently shaked for few minutes with alum for thorough mixing with bulk of water. Then flocculation, it is a gentle stirring of water for 30 minutes for precipitation of alum hydroxide as flocculates. These flocculates are then removed and they are then treated like waste. Sedimentation, after flocculation, water is detained from 2 to 6 hours for the sedimentation of precipitation at the bottom, and then water is allowed to flow for rapid filtration units. So all these four steps, they occur before the water enters into the filtration units. Then water is allowed to flow into the filtration units. Multiple filtration units are used with area 80 to 90 meters square, and effective size of the particle is 0.6 to 0.2 mm. It should be noted these filters are more fine as compared to the slow sand filtration. The reason is that they are and the water is thrown through pressure as compared to the gravitational force. And the chlorination, the disinfection can be done by chlorination or UV rays and ozonation. We will discuss the water treatment after the filtration. So these are the steps for the rapid sand filtration. The advantage and disadvantage of rapid sand filtration, it occupies very little space as compared to slow sand filtration. Filtration rate is 5 to 15 cubic meter per meter square per hour. The facility of washing by backflow is there as compared to scrubbing in the slow sand filtration. Removal of turbidity, color and bacteria 98.99%. The installation and maintenance cost is more than the slow sand filtration. So this is the large scale purification. These are the large scale purification methods. Now we will move on to the methods, domestic methods of water purification. The domestic water of purification includes the Traditional domestic filtration. This is very interesting. And the new methods, they are based on this traditional methods, and this is by using a clay pot pitchers, and there is fine and coarse sand, and then water is allowed to flow. This is sort of small filter, and then and there is gravel, coarse gravels, and then in another part the filtered water is collected, and from here it can be used for domestic purpose. The homemade traditional methods of filtration used in scattered population, layers of fine and coarse sand gravels are used. It is similar to slow sand and rapid sand filtration. On the other hand, the cloth filtration is sometimes used in emergency cases, and but it is not as effective as this traditional method. The drawback of these traditional methods is it has nothing to do with the microbial protection. Microbially, the water is not good for consumption, but on the other hand, the suspended solids and other impurities, they are effectively removed. The boiling of water kills bacteria, spores, cyst, and ova. It removes hardness. Boiling is a satisfactory method of water purification for domestic purpose. Then the tablets, aqua tablets are available. Halogen tablets, they are used. Iodine tablets, they can be used for chemical disinfection. It is done with the bleaching powder, chlorine, iodine, potassium permanganate, but chemical disinfection is not suitable for domestic purpose. It is on sometime color of the water is changed, and aesthetically the water is not good for consumption when it is chemically treated. Then ceramic filters, they are engineered methods, and they are very effectively used where the water supplies are continuous. Water can be filtered in a small scale by filtration. Three types of domestic filter are commonly used. They are Pasteur Chamberlain filter. In this filter, the ceramic candle made up of porcelain is used, and the other is Catadine filter. In Catadine filter, the porcelain candle is coated with silver crystals, catalyst, and this catalyst have the additional benefits of it releases the ions. Ions are bactericidal. Then Burkefield candle made of uh, Kazalgar or infusorial earth material, and the candles are similar to the Catadine candles, but the material is different. These are the engineering methods used where the water supplies are uh, continuous and consistent. Then advantages and disadvantages of ceramic candle filters. The advantages include filter candles have fine pores, remove all impurities and bacteria, liberate silver ions that kills the bacteria. Very effective method of domestic filtration with continuous source and removal of bacteria and protozoan, but not the filter the viruses. The candles are liable to be clogged. The disadvantages are the candles are liable to be clogged with the impurities and bacteria. Only clean water should be used with the ceramic filter. No residual protection. is available can lead to recontamination, variable quality control for locally produced filters, and need maintenance and replacement of accessories. So these are the advantages and disadvantages of the ceramic candle filters. Now the conclusion, the water purification is selected according to the availability of raw water and the size of the population to be served. The feasibility of installation and maintenance cost must be assessed. Water must be subjected to disinfection before it is supplied to populations. Domestic methods should be encouraged where the sources are scanty and the population is scattered. It should be remembered that water is very essential resource for life in the planet and it must be conserved with all efforts. So this is the conclusion and thank you very much for listening.